Who will buy your generic silver and gold? Have you ever walked into a local coin store and looked at what they were selling? At my local coin store, I rarely see any generic silver and or gold bars or rounds. Now, I do have two LCSs that I visit for the most part, and they both have a small selection of silver and gold generic rounds. Now, when it comes to gold, I rarely see generic gold rounds and bars. And as far as silver, I rarely see silver bars. Now, I did a poll, and these are the results. There's a mix there, as you see, yet it seems that most places do buy both. Just make sure that that's the case with your LCS or local coin store. I know that on eBay and on all the other, all the major online bullion dealers, you can buy and sell generic stuff, all day long. But if you need to buy and especially sell your generic stuff, do you have a plan? And I mean, where will you sell it? Who will buy your generic silver and or gold bars or rounds? Now, recently, I did sell a 1 gram gold bar, a couple 1/20th ounce Philharmonics, some generic gold silver bars and rounds to my local coin store. I have to say he did buy them, and that was great. But, and we know that there's always a but, he paid a little over spot for the Philharmonics, and these were 1/20th ounce, but not much over spot. And for all the other stuff, including a few 90% silver dimes and quarters, he only paid spot. Now, I wanted to do this as an experiment, so I did not try to negotiate with him. I didn't try to get him to pay me more. Like I said, it was just an experiment. I did this to see what an average person would expect when selling their stash. The total I sold was about $500. I didn't want to waste his time with a very small amount, like maybe $50 or so. And I also know that when you're selling small amounts, there is a bigger disadvantage, like having to sell it under spot. Now, I'd love to know in the comments, have you ever sold? And what was your experience with it? Any hints or tips that you could give us, that would be great. And if you don't mind helping me with the infamous YouTube algorithm and tap that like button for me, that would be fantastic. All right, back to my experience. These are a few of the things that I did before I even went to the LCS, and I think you should know that. First, I looked at the spot price for both silver and gold, and then I figured out how many ounces of each I had. I added it and wrote it down, what I would get if I were to sell everything at spot or if he bought everything at spot. I also wrote down the total ounces that I had. I should really say grams because in gold it was grams. I listed all of the silver and gold items with the price right next to them, the spot price. I made sure that all my coins and bars were stacked nice and neatly, so when I presented it to him, everything would look nice. I also called the coin store and asked them if they were buying. I didn't want to waste my time going out there. And they did say that they would buy, and I did tell them it was just a small amount, and they said, still, come on in. They were buying. Now, this LCS, local coin store, has a small bullion section, and he primarily sells numismatics and supplies. He did tell me a while back that he got into bullion because there's such a big market for it. When I got there, I did notice that he had quite a bit of silver and gold in his little bullion section. Most of it was U.S. coins and Buffalo rounds, but no bars at all. No silver bars, no gold bars. Oh, I did forget to say, I did have a 140% Kennedy, and he told me that goes straight to the smelter. He said he doesn't even sell them. All this means something. So let me give you my takeaway on this. First, he had a lot of inventory. Well, more than what he usually has, or more than what I usually see. If he needed more, he might have bought it at a higher price. He did check over everything. He looked at it with his loupe. He also had the Sigma Analytics machine there, and he checked everything there. and everything checked out without any issues. I have to say that I usually have good experiences with the local coin stores around here. And 99% of the time with this local coin store, he sells me things under the list price that he has. As I said, he mainly sells numismatics. And it's nice to have a good relationship with your LCS. If they know you and they've dealt with you in the past, there's some trust that develops. And you also know to some extent what you might expect. I think for the most part, it's a good thing. Also, some alternative selling places, I didn't mention this earlier, may be like Facebook or Instagram or even pawn shops. But for these, really make sure you know who you're dealing with and know what to expect out of the sale. One thing about pawn shops, they don't always follow spot price. In my experience, they usually buy very low and sell very high. Just know who you're dealing with is what I'm trying to say with that. I've had some good encounters with pawn shops, so I'm saying you don't completely disregard them, but I've also heard some horror stories, and you may have too. If you haven't, put that down in the comments too. Oh, I did want to mention before I closed out the video that next month in February, February 2023, is my 3-year anniversary here on YouTube. I am at just about 4,000 subscribers and at about 300,000 views. I want to thank all of you guys for that. I know that everyone's time is valuable, so I really, really appreciate when you guys stop by, when you like the video, when you comment, watching and subscribing, all that stuff. It's just really great. And I do want to thank you all, and I do want to tell you that I appreciate it very much. And I hope my channel continues to grow. I learned so much from the comments. But that's all that I have today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I always say, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video.